Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today from Playmates, in their Monsterverse line, we are featuring Godzilla vs. Kong City Battle. Comes with figures and it's a diorama set. It includes two 6-inch exclusive Godzilla and Kong action figures. It also features the HEAV, the Hollow Earth anti-gravity vehicle right there. And there's kind of like this cardboard city diorama, so you could kind of reenact, the huge battle scene of Godzilla vs. Kong, in the first film. I got this at my local Target. I believe it was like maybe $39 in the States. I think this city battle it has been, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's been discontinued. And instead, it's been replaced by a similar diorama set that does still feature Kong and Godzilla, but instead of a city background, it kind of features, I think, like the Hollow Earth. And that's currently available at Targets everywhere, I guess. On the back, it kind of highlights what you're getting. You're getting these different cardboard cutout diorama pieces of the city. You're getting Kong with his battle axe. You're getting Godzilla. And as I pointed out earlier, you're also getting the Hollow Earth anti-gravity vehicle. The figures, Godzilla features battle damage, as does Kong. And you could, even though these are exclusive action figures, I do believe you could buy similar action figures solo. I think that what makes them exclusive is actually their color scheme. And let's get started and take this out. For one, I'm excited to check this out. I always think it's kind of neat when toy companies produce play sets, especially when they're made of cardboard. I always kind of find that interesting. It's almost like a throwback to some of the toys that we got in the 70s and 80s, especially with Star Wars. Back then, you got some weird, like, third-party Star Wars play sets made of cardboard, or even, like, first-party ones, too. I think, like, the Hoth cardboard diorama comes to mind. And I remember some years ago with the release of Star Wars, the Solo story, Hasbro made, like, I think a couple of cardboard play sets for that film, which was really interesting because, it's been forever since they did anything like that. Alright, so we have the instruction manual and also the cardboard city, which looks like you have to assemble yourself. And then we have the action figures. Alright, got that out. Let's get these guys out of here. Right, we have Godzilla's tail, we have Kong's crazy battle axe, we have Godzilla's heat ray. This is an accessory we've seen multiple times over. We have the Hollow Earth anti-gravity vehicle. This is how the science team jumps down into the Hollow Earth. We have a cool little jet fighter here, so Godzilla can swat it around. And then we have the battle damage pieces. These are the pieces where if I was a kid, I'd probably lose these on the first day. And let's just attach those now, so I don't have to worry about them. And it's kind of gruesome, while they're fighting. You can imagine that You know, they get chunks of their flesh ripped off. All right, so there's Kong. We have that in place, and let's get Godzilla's on. Yeah, so these are figures that you might have handled before. The one thing that makes them exclusives, though, is the way that they're painted. You know, they feature a unique color scheme that some of the solo figures don't have. But if you have, you know, these Godzilla and Kong figures, you know, you'll recognize the battle damage and whatnot. They're still great figures. They stand in about 6 inches each. Oh God, I remember how difficult it was to get this tail on. Just give me a moment. All right, there you go. No child is going to be able to put that tail on by themselves. I'm like a grown adult who works out every day, and I found that to be quite a challenge. All right, so take a look at the figures. Start with Kong first. 6-inch action figure. Nice color scheme. It's a little vibrant. So the reason why he has all these oranges and red patches is this is kind of like simulating OSL, which is short for Object Source Lighting. So when you put this guy, you know, against the backdrop where the city is like on fire and inflamed, you're supposed to think of all the orange pieces here as kind of like light reflecting off his fur. So, you know, it's a little bit more immersive when he's against the backdrop. He features the scars across his chest like we've seen in the film. His color scheme's a lot lighter. As you recall in the movie, he's like a very dark gray, almost like blackish fur, but this one's very light, which I think is nice. It's nice to have a change. His pupils are kind of like oranged out, so he looks like really, really angry and ferocious. Here's his battle axe. It's almost kind of like the equivalent of like Thor's Mjolnir. You know, that's one thing I like about the Godzilla Kong films is that, especially with the upcoming film, looking at the trailer, it's almost like the movies have gone from like being big monster kaiju films to almost being like superhero movies, where instead of having superheroes, you just have the kaiju monsters as the superheroes. And it's an excellent looking piece. You know, the articulation is what you expect from the 6-inch Playmates Monsterverse figures. You know, all the articulations there. Unfortunately, there is no waist swivel or chest swivel, but it still gets the job done. And the legs are articulated as well. Yeah, I like this. This is really cool. Up next, we have Godzilla. The sculpting is nice. The jaw is articulated. Again, it features object source lighting. That's why it kind of has these orange patches. It's supposed to be simulating the fire that's around him as the city burns. He features a translucent blue fins on his back. You know, it's Godzilla getting ready to like charge up his heat ray and unleash his fury on Kong and the city. The tail is articulated, as are his legs. His ankles, they do swivel, but mine are a little bit stuck. Arms move, and his head turns, in addition to his articulated jaw, which we see right there. And then he does come with the heat ray accessory. And then there's a little tiny peg here. And at the roof of his mouth is a hole. And then you can insert that inside. And then that kind of simulates Godzilla, you know, emitting his heat ray. And they could fight and get all crazy with each other. Now, one big selling point also is that this comes with the diorama. I'm not sure if I'm going to assemble this on camera, because with my luck, I'll probably mess up. And I don't know. I spent $40 on this. I want to make sure at least if I want to do a good job on it, especially if my OCD kicks in. But at the very least, we could take a look at it and you can see it for yourself. So as I'm holding this, this is a cardboard material. It's not very thick. It's a much thinner cardboard, and I kind of feel like, if a child play with this, it'd probably be destroyed by the end of the day. It is really thin. It's not as thick as the cardboard box that the toy comes in. If you're an older collector, this will make a great display piece or diorama for your shelf, so there's no worry there. But again, like I said, with this being aimed at children, this wouldn't survive an afternoon of like heavy, intense playing. But I do appreciate the sentiment. I think it's great that they included this. And I do plan on assembling this at some point, just not on camera. I don't want to F up, especially with how delicate the cardboard pieces are. It's a very thin material. But I think it's cool. It's well worth the purchase. And like I stated, I believe the current version of this set that's available at stores right now is the one that features the Hollow Earth backdrop. I bought this, I think late last year, and I haven't seen it since the city battle, so it might be discontinued, but I'm sure if you hunt around, you can probably find it on like Amazon or a third-party seller on eBay. So yeah, great set, well worth the purchase. If you have little ones, I think this is a no-brainer. For $40, you get a cool diorama, and then you get Kong and Godzilla. You're kind of like one and done with your kaiju purchase. These two could go on adventures together, beat the crap out of each other, whatever. And then you also get the fun little vehicles. Where if I was a little kid, I love this kind of stuff. It just helps with, your storytelling. You can imagine that the scientists are out to help Kong defeat Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, swatting around jets in the city. Okay, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.